Couldn't my web programmer or printer knock up a design for me? Again, yeah, of course they can. There's no reason why not. They'll probably do something much more professional than you could. They'll have the right software maybe. But again, they're experts in their own field. They may not have gone to our college. They may have dabbled a bit in design. They may have seen lots of design. But are you truly getting the best value from them? If you go to a web programmer, for instance, they're fantastic people at coding, and you can spend a lot of money with them getting your website fantastically technically correct. Spend some money on with your search engine optimization, driving lots of traffic to your website. But what happens when that traffic visits your website? If they have a disappointing experience because it's visually unappealing or not targeted correctly to the right demographic, then you could be losing out. You could be wasting an investment. Professional designers make a difference. What they bring creativity, efficiency, and experience and speed. And the options and alternatives that they bring along to the table could be invaluable in terms of saving you money as well. They may have thought of solutions that you may not have considered that could save you money in print or in production or whatever. And equally important, your brand and the design elements that form your brand, the shapes, the colours, the letter forms, all the things we talked about earlier on. These are held in trust by your designer. And what they do is effectively ensure that all your marketing materials are consistent across the board. So if you want your van designed, or a sign, or a website, wherever that brand needs to go, the designer is looking at it from a consistency point of view to ensure that the right message is being spread across your whole marketing materials. Okay, next I'd like to actually show you a case study. Now I'm going to show you something that my design agency created, but the similarities are the same regardless of what designer you would choose to work with. And trust me, Cornwall's blessed with lots of very, very creative designers. But this is something that we did recently with one of our clients. That will take you through the process that a designer will go through in helping you establish your brand identity and then how it's actually used on various other elements. So you may have seen it was actually in yesterday's Western Morning News. The client was telling the results, which I'll come to later on. But the client is Just Water. They're based in Bodmin, and they produce a mineral water. They came to me and they said what we wanted to do was make our label design more appealing to a broader audience. But what we don't want to do is lose our traditional market. Their old label was fantastic in many respects in its day, but had maybe outgrown its usefulness in today's society. So my job really was to look at it and think, how can we improve this and increase their sales? I'm not trying to design to win awards. My designs don't have to hang up in the Tate Gallery and be looked at and admired. My designs have to serve a purpose. They have to increase the sales of my customer. That's what I'm trying to achieve. So we went through some processes of designing lots of logos, first of all, just in black and white, just to give them an idea of some of the things we can come up with. As you can see, there's quite a range going from one end of the spectrum right through to the other. Some focusing on bubbles, some on splash, some on typeface, shapes, etc. Once the client had a chance to look over these, they give some feedback, and we then took it to the next stage. So we took it to the next stage where, again, we developed it a little bit further, took them through the process, and engaged with them. We're part of a design team, ourselves and the client, working towards a common goal. So what we did was took them through the process, saying, do you like this? No, why don't you like it? How can we improve it? And ultimately, we came up with 3, which we then recommended that they market research. They took it out to a customer base and said, what do you think about these designs? They're all very similar, and some people prefer one over the other, and eventually we ended up with the final design. Now, whether you like the design or not, it's gone through a process of development. I mean, this happens to be representative of a drop of water using St. Perrin's flag as an addendum, if you like. But the point is, this has gone through a development process which they've tested on their customers. So whether it's aesthetically pleasing to you or not, we know it works for the customer base. And from that, we was able then to begin the label development. And again, we start out with lots of different ideas, from one end of the spectrum to the other. Some very funky and contemporary, maybe some very traditional and safe. others focusing upon the user experience as opposed to the product. From there, we took it onto another level, more development, taking customer feedback into consideration, developing the drop, introducing the logo. And we eventually ended up with this particular label range, which has been launched now for a few months. So that's the case study. Designers cost a fortune, don't they? Do they? How do you know? Until you ask the question, you don't really know how much they're going to save you. Design isn't a cost, it's an investment. It shouldn't be viewed as a cost. At the end of the day, it's got to return on your investment. If a design costs you £1,000 but brings you £100,000 revenue, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? But in many respects, you have your own budget, your own aspirations and your own objectives. Why not set down, clearly and concisely what it is you want to achieve and say, this is my budget. Take it to a designer or a few designers, get them to compete against each other and say, what can you do for this? This is my budget, can you achieve what I need? Take the process down the road. At the end of the day, it's your money, you're the client. Get the best from your designer. Once you appoint a designer, they then form part of your team. They have to know everything about your business objectives so they can get the best from what they produce for you. By working in partnership with them, their creativity and their objectivity, combined with your industry knowledge, it can only work for you. The end result is they're trying to achieve the same things as you are. They want to make sure that they get a result for you. Have clear objectives from the start. It helps brief in the designer, but it also helps you understand what it is that your customers are looking for. I always try and say, don't think about what you want to tell your customers. Think about what do they want to hear. Because it's only a subtle difference, but it makes a huge amount of difference when it comes to designing something for that customer base. You may want to enlist other professionals as part of the process, a copywriter, for instance, or a photographer, because trust me, the more professionals doing specialist elements of a project, the better the end results. I know if I've got good words to work with and good images to work with, the design part is relatively simple and it really makes a difference. But most importantly, to get the best from your designer, have fun. It's a creative experience. You may not get that opportunity every day in your working life, so have some fun, enjoying the experience. And so that's really what it's all about. Invest in your success. As I mentioned earlier, don't look upon design or marketing, indeed, as a cost. It should be an investment in your company. You're only going to get next year's customers or next month's customers by promoting yourself this week, today. Being out there in amongst the competition is the way that people will start to recognise your brand, your name, associate your company with one particular product or service. That's what you're trying to achieve. And when it comes down to return on investment, well, the example I showed earlier on, I was really pleased to hear that, like for like, August last year to August this year, they saw an increase of 29% on their sales from that design. And that's fantastic for me, because I can tell you guys about it, but I've been doing this for so long now. I know that design works. It's a fantastic tool in your arsenal, so utilise it. Do it yourself. Get someone else to do it. Ask lots of people to look at it. But however you go about it, be involved. Well, design can make a difference, and I believe it's an important tool in your arsenal, as I said. So all I ask is that at the end of today, if you've heard anything that makes you inspired to look at design further, then do some research, talk to people, go and see as many people as you can and see how design can help you as part of your overall marketing strategy. There's no point in having design in isolation if it's not working along with your marketing strategy. So that's what I believe can help you. If there are any questions, I'm sure there are, then please talk to me later on or ask at the question session. And that's the end of my speech. Thank you very much for your indulgence. Thank you.